Hello there! Thank you for tuning into another episode of The Way Up Show where I am Damien Fari. So tonight we're talking about Nintendo Classic Systems. That's why I have the NES and Super Nintendo Classic here. They were really hard to come by and now I finally have them and I'm excited to talk about what systems and what things they could do next. So let's start off with the big one that people have been talking about, which I do think is going to be happening sooner or later. The Game Boy. Game Boy Classic. I'd love to see it. So for me, I think it should have 60 games, and here's why, because it should have the Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance. Just knock all three systems out of the way at once to me, because I'm not a huge Game Boy fan. I never really owned a Game Boy except an Advance at the end. So, let's start off talking about games. Metroid 2, The Return of Samus. I know it was just remade on the 3DS, but just put it on here. It's a great game. Pokemon Red and Blue. It's Pokemon. It's the first ones. Super Mario Land 1 and 2. Definitely in good inclusion. There were games. There were Super Mario games. They got their own series in the end. Tetris and Tetris DX. I know what you're saying. DX is on the color. Well, this is one of the few games that got a remaster that I'm including on here. So just include them as the same game pretty much. Where you can play it in the original black and whitish color or the color. And then here's the other one. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX or just normal. Include them both though. Like I said, just make it where you can swap back and forth. Then Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. First Wario game. I'm excited. I haven't played most of these games, if I'm being honest, other than Metroid 2 and Link's Awakening. So I'd love to see all these on here. And obviously Tetris, but who hasn't played Tetris? Then going to Game Boy Color, where I have Mario Golf. I have not ever played a Mario Golf game, but, you know, that'd be cool. Mario Tennis, which I just played on the Switch, the new one, which I really enjoyed, actually. Pokemon Crystal Edition looks great, to be honest. It's a remade version of the Color games. I don't remember what they are. They'll be right there. And then The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. Include both of them right away, just because they're both great games. Then finally, we're going to Game Boy Advance, where this is where I played, but I did not have really any of these games, if I'm being completely honest. So, Mario Kart Super Circuit, the first portable Mario Kart, which is both good and bad. It's pretty much the Super Nintendo version, just on a Game Boy Advance, which is fine by me. Metroid Fusion. Metroid Zero Mission, which is a remake of the original Metroid, which is on here, but you can never have enough Metroid, so include it. And then The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap. So, I know what you're thinking. That's not 60 games, Damien. Well, in my estimation, that's about 20-ish. Personally, I have 20 here. They can add a lot more, obviously. They're Nintendo. They can add whatever they want. These are my recommendations, so hopefully they add some of these. And then I will be a happy man if they ever make that system. Sorry about the weird cut. I just wanted to cut somewhere and I tried to cut it, to where it looked good, but I'm not good with that yet. That's partially why I said I needed the new camera on on the Far Off Show 150. So, continuing where I left off, this is where we're going to talk about the N64 Classic. This is the one I really, really want. Like, these are cool, don't get me wrong, but an N64 Classic that could go right here would be amazing to me. So, it should come with at least 2 controllers, but it should have the ability to have 4 controllers. I want to make that clear. 4 controllers. It comes with 2. And they should make them easier to get than the NES Classic Edition. So, games that it should include. Banjo-Kazooie. Easily. Great game. Include it. GoldenEye 007. It's the game that started FPS shooters on consoles pretty much, so include it. Mario Kart 64, my personal favorite Mario Kart game, so please include it. And it's Mario Kart. It's always a positive. Perfect Dark. I have not played it, but it's the spiritual successor to GoldenEye 007, so I've wanted to play it. I've also wanted to play Perfect Dark Zero on this 360. Have not done that either. Super Mario 64, one of the greatest games of all time. Just include it. I mean, it's a great game. There's nothing more to be said about it other than it's an amazing game. Super Smash Bros., the game that started it all. With Smash Bros. Ultimate coming out, now would be the perfect time to release the original, so then people pick this up for nostalgia reasons even. Like these are for nostalgia reasons, but then N64, a lot of people can play the original Smash without having to own the original cartridge that's really expensive online. Star Fox 64, which is pretty much Star Fox 2 on here, just a lot better. I haven't played it, if I'm being honest. That's what I'm just guessing. So, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. The Ocarina of Time is one of the best games ever made also. So 2 of the best games ever made are on this system. And then Majora's Mask. I prefer this one, so please just include it. I know they were both remade on the 3DS, but it's cooler if they're both on the same system type thing. And then the least likely of all these classic systems of the N64 and Game Boy, I included the GameCube because I would love to see a GameCube Classic Edition where it does also come with 2 controllers once again. 2 controllers, and these would be just normal GameCube controllers, so they wouldn't have the weird Wii ports like this. They would be normal GameCube controllers. Everything's the same. So it would come with 2 like the N64, but you can get 2 more. Or use your old ones, for that matter. So what games do I think should be included on this system? Well, Luigi's Mansion is an easy one. They just made a sequel recently on the 3DS, so I'd love to see the original one again. Mario Kart Double Dash, a great party game, really, to be honest. It's great to play with your friends and actually work together as you're 2 people on the same cart type of a thing. Metroid Prime 1 and 2 Echoes, both great games. Both remastered on the Wii type thing, but play them here in HD. Pikmin 1 and 2, great games, to my understanding. I actually haven't played any of the Pikmin games, but this would be where I want to start. Super Mario Sunshine, a good sequel to Super Mario 64. Nothing much to say there. Super Smash Bros. Melee, considered the best Smash game ever. So, no problems with including that one. The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, which would be amazing to play, to be honest, again, on an actual GameCube controller. And then finally, Twilight Princess. So, Twilight Princess I know was released on Wii, but why not just include them both together on here? And then I actually don't have it written down here, but Four Swords Adventures would be really cool. If they somehow could get the Game Boy to work with the classic system, that'd be even amazing. Even the Game Boy Classic system would be amazing to see working with this. So what do you think about all these games that I've talked about here? I feel all these games are pretty good. I really hope they make these classic systems and keep making them. I feel like the Wii should be the last one, because no offense to the Wii U, I feel like it should be, these are just pretty much HD versions of the original games, so just make HD versions of the original games. The DS wouldn't work that well, and I didn't talk about the Wii, but, you know, maybe. So please comment below what games you think I've missed for these systems. Let me list them off here. The GameCube, the N64, and the Game Boy. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and have a way off night.